What am I doing? I'm lost. Yes, I am. Ah, there I am. I found myself. Dropped frames, huh? Wow, bummer. I'm losing frames. Not good, not good. How's it going, Brown Dwarf? It's Friday, and I have some stuff I want to share tonight. It's something that I've had on my wall or my YouTube channel for a very, very long time. And what I did was I went in and I cut out all the roars. So it roared 10 times. This Bigfoot roared at us 10 times. So what I did was I cut out all these roars starting from number 1 all the way to number 10. And I thought we would go, listen to them, and then I'll play the whole thing. But I want to let everybody know maybe I should put that in the YouTube thing, that there is some bad language in it, in the actual long version. How's it going, Cryptid? How's your Friday night? It's pretty good for me. I got my studio all back together, cameras going, chatted with my grandson over in Indiana. He was really happy to see me. I was happy to see him. It's been about 3 years since they moved away. And I missed the little guy and his sisters and everybody else, and daughter, everybody. How's it going, Pocket Pro? What's up, my man? And Bolt Gun, hey. Not much happening. I got some roars. The roars are old, but it's hard to listen to the recording that I made, because what I did was I made it louder where the roar was, and then I made it lower after the roar. So if people are listening to it with their headphones and have it up real loud listening, I bet every time that it steps up and roars, it just blows their ears off. So I thought I would go back and cut all the roars out, and we'll listen to them separately, and then we'll listen to the whole thing. And I think the whole thing's about 10 minutes. And it roared like every 30 to 45 seconds or so. And at first it was hard to hear, but cut out, you can hear it. And as I go through the roars, you'll be able to hear it better and better and better. That way, whenever I play all the way through the whole video, you'll be able to probably be able to pick out the roars pretty good without any, cuts or any kind of enhancements or anything like that. So I thought I would do that tonight. And hi, Connie. How are you? And I thought, plus, it took me a little while to edit that one Sawmill Flat thing. I took like hours and hours of video, and there was nothing, so I thought that I walked through the woods like 3 times, but only I did the same loop 3 times, and I didn't walk very far from camp. I didn't think I had to. The very first night that we were there was a big old snap, and I know that was them or it, probably them. But there was hunters out. I mean, the first night we were there was nobody there, just us. And that was the night that it snapped. It sounded like a 6-inch around branch snapped off. And then you didn't hear it fall through the trees. You didn't hear it hit the ground. Just one big loud snap. That was it. That's what made me think it was them and not something natural happening, even though somebody that doesn't know anything about Bigfoot would say, oh, that's just, natural, even though we all know the people that go out all the time and do this, they know the difference between natural and Squatch made, Let me see. Hi, L. What is happening? It's a Friday night. Everybody hanging out. So, there's a few people in here, and I'm going to go ahead and get to the roars. What do you guys think? Get to them and let's hear these things happening. I'll let you guys make the call, if it's time to do that or not. Am I loud enough? I messed around with all the settings since the studio was all down. Okay, I am good. Or I am loud enough, or should I turn it up and go to the roars? Is that okay? Now I hope the roars are loud enough, and I think I'll be able to see the chat while we're doing it. So if you can't hear the roars, then let me know. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go and get into the roars. And now this is the first one, and no, I can't see the roars. Let me see. I can't see the chat. Oh well, I'll just go through them. Okay, this is the first one. Now you heard that, right? I know there's a lot of background noise, but this is the first one, and it's really low compared to the other ones. Okay, then we'll go to the second one. Wait, let me see if I can move this so I can see the chat. I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. I can see the chat. Okay, you can hear it? All right. Okay, so now number 2. Okay, and we'll go to number 3. Now we're talking a little bit, and because we don't know when it's going to roar, and the wind was blowing and a bird chattered, but you could still hear the roar back there. Okay, we go to the next one, and they get cleaner as it goes. Now these roars, we could feel, even the first one that was, the very first one that was kind of low, we could feel that. Everyone could feel it in their stomach and chest, body area. You could feel it vibrating you. That's how loud it was. It doesn't sound like it, in the video though. Okay, we'll go to the next one. This is number 5, and it's going to be a little bit louder. I wish I could take out some of the other noises. I tried, but I couldn't. Okay, number 6. That ain't no bear. I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, go to the next one, number 7. You see how they're getting louder? Okay. Number 8. Oh. Man, and it was getting closer and closer. Okay, number 9.
There's again. There's again. There's again.
He sounds pretty ticked off. I'm going to tell you that. He sounds really ticked off.
There's again.
Okay, number 10. This is the last one. Sorry about that.
Baby Squatch print.
That's the wrong one. It's only supposed to be, let me see. I must have messed up on number 10. We'll see.
That's a fucking... What? You heard it in here? It ain't no machine, man.
No.
Is it no machine?
No, fuck machine. What machine would do that?
It's not like something
No.
No. Have you ever seen a movie where they make the bear roar? It sounded just like that.
But this wasn't a bear.
No, it wasn't somebody making that noise. It wasn't like a Bigfoot hunter making.
No. Come on.
What's up, James? Okay, so since I messed up on number 10, okay, I'm just gonna play the whole thing through right now, but I'm gonna kind of fast forward out of the first like 2 minutes because it's just us walking and it's just crunch, crunch, crunch. Then after that, you'll start hearing the roars about every 30 seconds. There is some bad language, so if you have little kids in the room, I mean, everybody got excited and we didn't hold back on the language. And it was because it was vibrating our insides and we were really feeling these things, okay? So just a fair warning, there is language, really rough language, okay? And here we go. That's the first one.
Scream.
Oh my God, I got it on recording. Oh my God, I got it. I got it. I got it.
There's the second one. Hi, Pam.
Goosebumps. I can't believe you heard that. Fuck me.
Oh man, we were scared. After the 10th one, we were leaving and fast. Did you hear that one? It's kind of different when you can hear them and feel them.
Maybe you should get one back now. I don't want to scare him. Come on. It's way on. Yeah, it was way on. Oh, fuck me. Right, your head.
I think it was. We heard a baby crying actually as we were walking in. There's another one.
Got it. Don't move.
We heard the baby crying and
Get the agenda.
Too short. It's getting louder though.
oh,
Yeah, I really can.
this was at the spot. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's getting louder. It sounds like there's
We were really close, Sam.
something we're gonna play on our show tonight. I gotta record it.
Now it's really close.
You fucking hear that shit? Here it is, man. Fucking imagine. That's not a bear or a lion. That's a fucking.
Oh my
There's
god.
again. It's breathing. Maybe he's right on top of us.
It was like 3:30, 4 p.m.
That's no gender really either. No, it's too short. Let's try to be quiet. Look over that hill there.
We're leaving right now.
I'm recording.
I'm pretty sure there's not any more after this. Oh, there was one more.
Fucking Jimmy's gonna be pissed.
I'm pretty sure it quit as we were getting out of there.
I almost shit my pants, man.
Well, there y'all go. Let me see here. How do I... There we go. Yeah, so I hope that wasn't too loud and blowing you guys' ears out. But it was the running joke was running joke. Get it? Running was all you had to do was outrun me. And I tell you what, I wanted to run, that's for sure. And when it started like getting closer and closer and louder, we did not want to hang around. There was 5 of us, and we were nearly 3 miles from the truck. So about the 6th roar, we decided we were on our way out of there, and we started leaving, but it was still coming up on us and roaring even louder and louder. Now, when we were halfway down going in, there was a gate. That's why we didn't drive down in there. There was a gate that we parked at, and about halfway in there, we could hear a baby crying, and we didn't have the recorders on yet or anything. Only heard it for, a few cries, and then it got quiet, real quiet. The birds weren't quiet the whole time. The forest never got quiet, real quiet. So that was kind of weird. Usually when you go down there and there's going to be any kind of activity, it's quiet. No squirrels. Every once in a while, a crow or something will follow you around and stay right above you in the trees, making all kinds of noise. And I think they do that to give away where you're at. After so many times going in the woods, sometimes I think the Sasquatch work with the crows or ravens or whatever they are. They seem to follow us and make all kinds of noise, and it's like, here they are, they're right here, but this time there was the birds and everything didn't even stop. It was like they're not worried. They're after those guys, right? They're not after us. It's after them. And so everything seemed normal until the screaming started. Then that wasn't normal at all. And there's always bugs, big bugs, Get to the chopper. Yeah, I wish there was a chopper, or I could have took off and flew away or something. Man, all I know is I'm thinking more and more about that electric bike thing, where you can just kind of cruise down with everybody nice and slow, and you could go at a pace of walking. And then if anything like that starts happening, you can put it in high gear and get the heck out of there and leave all them in the dust, and you won't even be out of breath when you get back to the truck. I'm positive it is Sam Squatch. That so many times the blackbirds, the crows, I think they're ravens because they're big blackbirds, really big, and they'll come out of nowhere. And it seems like right about the time you're getting near the areas where they live or reside, that's when those birds come out, and they will not shut up. And they stay way up high in the tree, but they're squawking. They just follow us. If we split up, then there's 2 of them squawking. It's like, where did they all come from? And what are they doing? They're giving away our position, Yeah. Oh, you did? Where? Oh, up here, right up here. I'm going out there this weekend. I'm gonna go out and do some footage over by Avocado Lake, and I can't say the name of the campground, Chawanami or whatever it is. I'm gonna go hang out there in the night. Yeah, I didn't run the full 3 miles. I walked, and actually Danny stayed with me. Everybody else booked it, and Danny stayed with me. And then when we got to the top, Danny told me, like if anything really would have threatened us, you would have face planted, and then he would have took off running. But really, he stayed with me, walking back to the truck. So Danny's really cool, and I'm sure anybody else would have too if there was nobody else, they would have. And I'm sure I would have face planted if something would have happened. They would have tried to make sure that I fell down and they get away. I'm not going in the lake, I'm only going to go over there and sit out there at night. There's been a lot of activity. A lot of people's been calling me about activity. There's a couple other places too. Shaver Springs. People that live in Shaver Springs have a lot of friends my kids grew up with up there, and people that I knew from the casino days and raising my kids up in the hills. There's some ponds at Shaver Springs, and at night, not every night though, something gets in the pond. It sends all the geese. There's geese and ducks in there all year round. It sends everything out. Everything gets quiet, and then they hear something taking a bath in the lake. And nobody's brave enough to go look and see what it is. In the daytime, people fish it for the panfish, and they've had rocks thrown in the water. And everybody's gets a hold of me all the time. Same thing about Meadow Lakes. Same, only Meadow Lakes, what's happening, they don't hear it taking a bath, but all night long they're screaming, and they're trying to figure out what it is. For the last 2 years, they've been trying to figure out what it is. And so far, nobody knows what the scream is. I know what it is, but they have not identified it. Out of all the mountain people up there, they've recorded it, played it on the mountain website and everything. Nobody knows what it is. I know what it is. And I'd like to go spend a couple of nights up there too. What's kind of cool, it's only like, 35 minutes from home. So you could just go up there, hang out as long as you want, and then go home. Yeah, that's the same thing with the Avocado Lake and stuff. 20, 30 minutes and you're home. No, like now the spot where those roars are, that is 3.5 hours away. And it's not real far in the mountains, but it's like right outside Sequoia National Park. And there's really no towns around it. So you're driving through the country for a long ways before you get to the mountains. And then you go into this little hidden valley that's really secluded. And there they are in there. And I think that's where they raise the babies and stuff like that. There's total destruction inside there. Trees knocked down, branches broken, X's all over the place, all kinds of tree structures. I mean, it is like the most squatchiest place I ever been, really. I'll check it out, man. I'll check it out. I've been so busy, I haven't watched anybody's videos. I'm really sorry about that. I've been really busy, though. Yes, that's right, Sam Squatch, for sure. I don't think that I'm sure they eat the citrus trees. I think they're in there because they can hide in them. All year round, green, thick trees, and they get big. So you have orange trees 8 or 9, 10 feet across and 15, 16 feet tall. You could step into one. If you're a Bigfoot, you could step into one and then be there and nobody would know you're there. They could disappear just so fast in orange or, in the citrus. Yeah, blue jays. We used to have one when I lived in Yosemite. We had the the wooden sliding windows, old house, and we would be having breakfast, pancakes and stuff like that. And we would open the window in the spring, summer, and fall, and the blue jay would actually come in the house in the butter. And he would get like a whole mouthful of butter and then hop out the window and fly off. A little while later, and I mean with everybody sitting around the table, so we had to start like putting the butter away because the blue jay loved the butter. And it's not the kind, it wasn't a scrub jay, it was a blue jay. Bigfoots laugh when they see you. That's funny. Heck, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, Sam Squatch. They're not just here. They're all over California. They're anywhere where there's wild areas, water, something to eat. They're there. I mean, people see them Texas, Oklahoma, all over, Ohio, Indiana, Florida. I mean, all over the place. Tennessee, Kentucky. I mean, you're near one somewhere. I mean, even out New York in the countrysides, you're close. Yeah, I would like to go squatching in Florida. Maybe we should try that brown dwarf. Like, maybe we could like save up some money in a couple of years, go over there. There's no real hills. Yeah, I could walk all over the place over there. Yeah, Grassman in Ohio. It would be great to Kev, he was talking about like where is the spot. It would be fun to grab a few. I have not been to the spot in a couple of years, and I would like to go this winter. It doesn't snow. I mean, it does snow, but it doesn't stay on the ground, a day or two. And I don't care what time of the year you go in there, there's always something going on. The most action that I ever seen there is when the gate is closed and you can't drive down there. I think that a lot of people stop at the gate and they don't walk down there. It's quite a hike, and it's downhill and then uphill all the way back. And I can do it if I take my time. I've done it several times already. And I even found when sometimes I won't go, everybody will go walking down and I'll stay at the top at the gate and I'll get more action up at the gate than everybody will down there all together in their group. I just whistle. I'll start whistling to myself for something and then things start hitting the truck. And the next thing I know, I hear my whistle, a perfect mimic of my whistles coming right out of the woods from two different areas. I haven't seen anything yet, but birds don't sound just like you unless they're parrots or something. And I know it wasn't parrots, you know. There was movement, bush movement, like shaking. The bushes would shake. So I know it wasn't, you know, anything. And then the chatter, you could hear them talking, but you can't make out what they're saying. It just sounds like just a little bit far enough away where you can't make out what they're saying. Even though I probably, even if you were closer, you couldn't make it out because it's not English, but you could hear them talking. And even if I sat at the truck and everybody went down and I stayed there, I always heard the chatter. I would hear my whistles. Sometimes I heard my name being called. That's a little bit unnerving, to hear your name being called out of the woods. And I think it was trying to trick me into going in there to see, you know, like maybe my friends are coming back. But I wouldn't go, you know. I knew that my friends aren't coming back for 3 more hours, you know, and there's no way I'm going to go out there and wander in the woods all by myself. And I could stay in the truck fully armed, you know, 30-06, 44 mag, you know, anything coming at me, it was going to be a war. Yeah. Bye, Pam. Yeah, we've played music. We played children playing. We played zoo sounds, you know, monkeys, gorillas. We played all kinds of different kinds of music, classical, country western. Really didn't get anything out of it. We had babies crying. After we heard the baby crying down there, we played babies crying. The thing that really gets results is whistling. Almost always gets results. Whistling, and believe it or not, wood knocks. Even though they know, you know, I'm not sure if they know if you're a Bigfoot or not, or if you're coming into their area and they can account for everyone, and then they hear a wood knock, they go nuts over that. That could get them screaming and hollering even. And yeah, I played the flute. I've played the flute a few times. I'm just not good at it. Probably they run away from me. I've been working on it though. I pick it up like twice a week and play it for hour and a half or so in the backyard. I'm sure the neighbors hate it, you know. Only it sounds good to me, you know. But I know it doesn't sound that great, you know, really. But I want to be able to play several different songs, and you know, walk a little ways or go down a little ways and then play one tune and then go a little more and play another tune. And actually I want to do it at the Kings River, at these certain places where people are getting the rocks thrown at them. That's the place I want to try it at. Yeah, disguised, huh? Yeah, it's fun. Like I don't care where I would live at. I would find areas where there would be Bigfoot, and I would go out. You know, I can't sit around and, you know, you could watch as many videos as you want, but it's not the same as getting out there and having them screaming at you, whistling at you, calling your name. There's nothing really like it. And I have this theory that once you know they're there and you've seen them, they don't hide as much to you. Like I don't know how they know, but the people that never seen them, they hide, and people don't see them. Every once in a while, though, we'll go with someone and they'll step out right in front of that person. Nobody else will see him, but the person that we brought that didn't believe in Bigfoot, they won't come back either. I mean, they see it really close up, and and then they want to leave, and we leave, and they never ever go out with us again, and they don't talk about it. It freaks them out, and I don't know how the Bigfoot knows about that, but I do know, like, if, like, for me, once I seen one, I can get them rock clacking in certain areas over by Mammoth Pool. You go over there and you knock some granite rocks together, and within, I would say, 3 minutes, you'll hear rocks knocking together all around you. Maybe 3 or 4 different ones, knocking the rocks together. And that is a deer migration route. And I found, like, deer migration routes are excellent places to go to have encounters. So if in your area, whatever your state is, if you get a hold of the Fish and Game or the wildlife people, they'll tell you which way the migration routes are. And then you go hang out in there in those certain time of the year when they're migrating through there, and you could have an encounter. I'm not kidding. And you can even sneak up on them. That's where they're more intent on what their prey. So if they're concentrating on taking out whatever, a deer or something like that, you can actually surprise them. And it's pretty funny when you surprise them because they're not expecting you. And you can actually, like, tell that they're like, what, and then they really immediately get away. They don't have a plan for that, right? There's no plan. So they immediately back out and get away, and you probably won't see them again because you surprised them and they weren't ready. But going into a migration route is a really good place to have encounters. Make weed brownies, huh? Yeah, man, I want to hook up with Bobo and you guys. You guys are only like maybe 5 or 6 hour drive for me, man. I'll go spend the night on the beach, like in the springtime or something. Go sleep in the redwoods. Only, I don't know, I'll have to have something substantial to sleep in, though, because I don't know if I'm going to sleep on the ground or in a tent over there. I think they're really thick in those redwoods where you're at, bro. I really do. Bobo would be fun, man. Me and him sat and talked all night long, several nights in a row, about Bigfoot and some of his, how he got into it, and into squatching and stuff like that, and some of the encounters he had. He's had quite a few, and even when they were doing the Finding Bigfoot, he had a couple. And then he saved my life too, so I owe that guy a lot. I mean, seriously, he saved me, and I'm really beholden to him for that. Cool. That sounds good to me. Hey, I dig Daytona. Hey, I haven't watched your last video, man. I've been so busy. But I will get to it. I saw it come by, but I haven't had time to watch everybody's videos lately. I've been really, really busy. And my wife was even like, first thing, as soon as I got up, she had a honey-do list for me today. She goes, I know what we're doing today. And I'm like, oh, no, not again. And it included painting and all kinds of stuff, more than I could probably do in one day. And I think she knows that. But I was at the laundromat for the last 3 days, In fact, I drank somebody else's drink. I had a McDonald's sweet tea, and this other girl came in, was doing her laundry, and sat almost right by my drink. She sets a Coke. Same cup, same everything. And I pull everything out of the laundry and throw it in one of those wheeled baskets when my dryer was done. And I turned and grabbed her drink and drank it. Like 2 sips, and I knew it was not my drink, you know. And she was just looking at me like, I thought, oh man, I'm not sick. Really, I'm not sick. But she didn't touch it again. You know, I wished I didn't touch it. That's for sure. Man. I haven't talked to him personally, but he is posting memes and stuff like that. So he's still with us. You know, he's still out there somewhere doing whatever he does, but he's only posting memes and stuff on Facebook. I don't think anybody's really talked to him at all. Even his military buddies that are on stateside, they're only just reading and commenting on the memes too. So it'll be interesting, you know, to see. Yeah, ew, that's what I said too. And she said she's not sick, you know. Thought, man, I hope I don't get sick. And then the next day I was at the laundromat, and this time I didn't bring a drink in there, and I was being, you know, watching everybody. And I got to go back tomorrow too. One more trip. Tomorrow's bedding and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, wash it here and dry it over there. And oh boy. You know, I hang out at that place. Everybody knows my name. It's almost like that TV show, you know, where everybody knows your name. Well, everybody knows my name at the laundromat. It's kind of sad. No, Bobo isn't hanging out with the craft services. He actually was losing weight before that. I have a feeling it had something to do with the ankle damage that he got when he threw that over in Australia. He was throwing the boomerang, and he hit him. You know, got hit in the ankle. I think that had something to do with it. That, you know, that he had to lose the weight, or something was going to happen, you know. And but I was shocked when I seen the pictures of him, though, because it seemed like 1 minute there was Bobo, really big Bobo, and then the next minute it was really skinny Bobo. I was like, what happened to you, man? Like, dang, you know, like you aren't the same Bobo. All his hair was cut off and gray. It was like, whoa. Like he aged and got skinny in a year or less, you know, pretty trippy. I know he's over in Saudi land. That's where he's at, over there. And he may be doing some things that, you know, Trump's having him do. I don't know. And then he may be hired by the Saudis, making a whole bunch of money protecting some of them, because we're taking our protection away, you know. I think you're right, Bolt Gun. I think you're right. It is getting weird. Cool. 32 minutes of digging. Love it. How did you fare with that hurricane? Kind of blew by you, or did it mess with you and mess up your house or anything? I was wondering about that, Daytona. That was a pretty nasty hurricane. You know, out of all the ones that have come along in last couple of years, messed up some air bases. And I think it's weather wars. I really do. I'm sorry, but I think that they are manipulating the weather. They've been trying to do it ever since Vietnam. And I know they did in Vietnam make it rain so bad that it even messed us up, because we couldn't move or get equipment going or anything. It was meant to hurt the Viet Cong, but it messed us up too. And I think they're good at it now. Believe me, they can steer hurricanes and everything. So, you know, yeah, not a breeze. Wow. The little people. I think Bobo posted today. Posted that he's looking for some hardwoods. So if you know where to get some hardwoods, Brown Dwarf, he's looking to cut down some hardwoods. I don't know if he wants to burn it in his fireplace or if he wants to make something. Oh, I bet. I'm sure they can make fog. Little people in Venezuela. Huh. Now, I have some family that live in, oh man, over in the islands, not Hawaii though, Guam. And they talk about little people over there. And they came back believers of that kind of stuff, you know. And then when I go back in Oklahoma and stuff like that, family, a lot of my family and my wife's family, they're all into the little people. In fact, my wife's grandfather is a famous painter for the Cherokees. He passed on now, but his paintings, even little bitty paintings like this, are worth 10 grand. If you ever find one, his name is Cecil Dick. So if you ever come across a cheap Cecil Dick painting, grab it, because it's really, it could be worth $100,000, you know. And he's got paintings all in the Bureau of Indian Affairs offices and all those casinos, Hard Rock, all those. So if you ever find one, but he was man, it was like Thanksgiving, and we were sitting around chatting, all the whole family, and he was talking about a painting that he was painting of the little people, but they wouldn't give him permission to paint it. And finally they did, and he finally painted it. And he passed not long after that, though. Yeah, I wasn't sure, you know. Usually some people they like the hardwoods and they make things, you know. But I was thinking he has that really nice house overlooking the ocean with a big old giant fireplace, and it's becoming winter. I figured he was probably looking for hardwoods to burn because it burns longer, you know, hotter, longer. How's it going, Lewis? Yeah, so should I play one more time a couple of those roars for all the people that haven't come in? Real quick, I'll play the best ones. I'll play like 3 of the best ones, you guys. Before I go, we'll do this really quick little thing. Yeah, little people are all over the world. Yes, they are. Okay, I transition, then I go to here. Okay, and I think the best one was like number 7, right? Seven was good. 8 was good. Dude, that still scares me, you guys. That still scares me.
There's again.
It was freaking King Kong. I'm gonna tell you right now, it sounded like King Kong to me. That's what it sounded like.
There's again. There's again.
Oh my god. I gotta stop. I'll have nightmares. Serious. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll have nightmares if I keep doing that all night long. Like, rah! I'll do another one. When we were at the Thule Reservation a few years ago, we were camping back there with Christina, and we pulled in and started doing the wood knocks like right away. Like probably the first 15 minutes we were there, we started wood knocking, and almost right away, the Bigfoot started hooting and hollering and stuff. They weren't roaring like that, but they were hooting and hollering and communicating back and forth. And what was interesting about it was they did it for over 3 hours. And we had a recorder set up, and we should have set it a lot farther away from us. It was really, really sensitive. I have one now that I just bought at Harbor Freight for $8. I mean, come on, you guys. I'll have to put a link to it the next time I'm on. I'll put a link to this. It's just to help people hear better. But if you hook it to an iPhone or a Android or a camcorder or anything that you can record with, this thing picks up sound from a long ways. You could hear somebody whispering at 200 yards. I'm not kidding. And I was playing with it on the trip to Sawmill Flats. But anyways, back to my story. We were at Thule, and every time that they would start talking, we would all shut up and listen, or the whispering and everything, and they wouldn't make a noise. And after 15, 20 minutes, everybody starts talking normal again, and we're laughing and, carrying on and stuff. We think they stopped. And when you're not expecting it and everybody's laughing and loud, loud as could be, then all of a sudden they start hollering again. And then it was like, oh, there they go. But every single time in the recording, we're talking over them. And over 3 hours, but it was like they waited until we were talking and making noise and doing everything before they started making noise. Soon as we shut up, they shut up. And then they would shut up for a while, and we would get back to talking again. And before you know it, we're all laughing and telling stories. And next thing you know, there they go off again. And we're all like, there it is, and we'd shut up. But so would they. And man, I caught grief when I put that audio up, because everybody's like, well, why in the hell are you guys talking over them? We didn't mean to, but 20 minutes goes by of you just sitting there and nothing happens. Pretty soon you're whispering, pretty soon you're talking, pretty soon, they're not making any noise. So, hey, they must have stopped. They must have went away. Then the next thing we know, bam, there they are again, Oh, man. But yeah, so it's aggravating because they're that smart, Like when you have a camera and they're moving around, they're doing something, they have their back to you. They never saw you. You walked up on them. You're looking at them. They're busy. They're not looking at you. You pull out your camera. You go real slow. As soon as you turn your camera on, they freeze. And then you sit there. Half hour goes by. They didn't move. They're not even breathing, you don't think. Either that or they sit down with their back to you. They sit down. And then they just sit there. And they'll sit there for 8 hours. If you sit there for 8 hours and you don't move, they won't move. They will not move until you take your eyes off them. As soon as or your battery dies on your camera. Soon as that happens, they'll get up and walk off. And everybody's like, well, how come you didn't stay there until they moved? Well, they're not going to move. They don't move. They stay right there. They know. So you know too, after a while, you know they're not going to move. So you try to get in a better position to get a better video, closer or more focus or whatever. And then as soon as you're out of eyesight, they're gone. Forest ninjas. I'm telling you, ninjas. They're ninjas, okay? They know. And I don't know how they know, but they know. You know, so that's my experience anyways. I wonder if the government even goes after him and kills him and stuff. Hunts him down. Oh yeah, man, we're Taco Central over here. We got taco trucks. We got great places to eat tacos. You know, it's like Taco Tuesday every day if you want to be over here. Yeah, I got to get going too. I'm going to try to keep it to an hour every time and not because if I sit down and I turn it on, I could go and go and go. It's so fun chatting with you guys. And I've been catching grief from my wife, like, do you have to go 2.5 hours? You know, it's like, yeah. But I agree with her. An hour is pretty good, you know, and it takes a lot to do. People thinks it's easy or something like that. This is not easy, okay? It isn't easy. You get it all set up, and then you drink a bunch of water and stuff like that before you sit down, and then you got to pee within an hour, you know, and so usually when you get to the 2-hour mark, you're barely able to sit there, and that's when you got to go really fast. You know, you're like, gotta go. We'll see you. You know, we're clocking out. So I don't want to get to. I usually get like to that point, so I'm not going to try to get to that point anymore. You know, just gonna like, I'll do an hour or so and then get out, and I'll just try to do it more often. I mean, it was only a few days ago I uploaded the thing, and I'm trying to go on. My cell phone sucks, man. I don't have enough room for apps on it. So I could have one app. And so if I put Facebook on it, then I can't have YouTube on it. If I put YouTube on it, I can't have Facebook on it. If I have Facebook on it, I can't have Messenger on it. So I never have Messenger on it. And then I'm with T-Mobile, and they have T-Mobile Tuesday, and you have to get the rewards with the app, right? So I have to delete all the apps on Tuesday, put T-Mobile Tuesday on it. You know, it's crazy. And the camera's not that great. And I forget, you know, and oh man, I'm waiting for Black Friday, and I'm going to buy a good phone. That's what's going to happen. Snake Road, coming to a conclusion on Snake Road. Yeah, there's always a story. The last one I heard was a triangle hovering over some people recently and following them until they got in the car and took off. But it followed them. They moved down the road, you know, a good 1.5 miles. And then they thought they got out of there because it scared them, because it was like hovering right over them. So then they went 1 mile or 2 down, and then they got out of the car, and then they realized it was right above them again. And they immediately got back in the car and took off. And no pictures or nothing, you know. People don't think of that. Serious. They don't. They're more scared than anything. So people don't think about taking pictures usually. I mean, even I don't. When I seen that thing flying in the air, I grabbed my binoculars instead of my camera. Then after it was almost gone, then I was like, man, I should have grabbed my camera, you know. You just want to see it, or else you want to get out of there, you know. It's not the first thing you think of is cameras. Yeah. I'm really bad about beating up my microphone, you know. Yeah. I could run one of those, what do they call it? I could be sitting on a composting toilet. I could take it squatching with me too. No, that would be fun. Really, you were there? You didn't see anything? Man, people are. I'm getting calls and text from around that area nearly every week. Trimmer Road, Snake Road, Piedra, all around the golf course. What do you call that golf course? The people park out there. So I have some friends that live in Tybee Valley. They're seeing stuff and hearing stuff. It's interesting. It's interesting, and I've been meaning to go out there probably for the last 2 months because that's how active the whole area is. In fact, Jeff did a show on it recently. I was kind of tripping because he kind of showed where people lived, and I didn't think that was cool. Name their name and then say who they were. I thought, whoa, I would never do that to anyone. I'll show the area, but I'm not going to name where you live at or show you, but only it's really active over there. So active that Jeffrey did a show on it. And so if you keep hanging out over there, man, and don't just stay over on Snake Road, but get more closer to the river. That's where it seems like most of the activity is around the canals and rivers. So like get close to those or